Wow. Man. Okay. All right. So y'all haven't been seeing me this whole time? Have you been hearing me? Did we just do a sway? Oh God, I was so looking forward to this class. Can y'all let me know what you guys have been hearing, because I'm really confused. Were you just seeing the start screen? I will say that for all of you that believe that in jinxes and... Oh, it's been dark. Okay. But can you see me now? And silent. Oh no. Totally see me. Okay. Man. Alright, y'all. What a weird... Man, y'all are so cool. I don't know if anybody else is here, but y'all are so cool for sticking around through that. I had no idea that y'all could not see me. Hopefully you can now, and we have sound. Man. Alright. So hey, Jennifer. We have had the goofiest start to class, so... just in case y'all didn't hear it, OBS, the software I use to stream, it's probably the most popular software out there for streaming. It crashed during the last Wake and Flow that we had on Saturday, and apparently that wiped out all of my settings and everything. I'm sure I can get them back, but when I booted up today, I didn't realize all that had happened. So I'm going to bring the sound back up, and we're going to get started on weaves. And we'll try to bring this class back from the hell. It's been... Yeah, there was supposed to be class. At first, when I went to stream, I was streaming to my dummy channel, which is weird. And then all of my settings were gone from OBS, so... Anyway, we're here, and hopefully we can get this, have a decent class after all. Oh. It's been a minute since we've had this, and I totally jinxed this last class. I was bragging about how we haven't had this happen in a while. Okay, so here's the weave. If you've never done this, I think most people have, but if you've never done this, I pitch the hoop forward with my hand, then I let my wrist break or roll, and it rolls down to the other side. Then I bring, as it's coming back around, I tip it towards this side of my body, and this is the weave. Kind of looks cool with the camera there. This is if I keep the weave on one hand, and then this is if I switch hands. But the first one hand is what we're going for right now, and then once you get the left hand or right hand, then you switch to the other hand. And this is probably like the first exercise that you'll do with hooping or off-body move where you can really start to develop the articulation of your off hand, or your non-dominant hand. You can get the weave to be closer to the body. I used to call this like a clean shave, where you're getting the hoop really close to you. This is if the hoop is far away from my body. And then I can start to bring it in and get it closer. And then what I used to do in my early classes, we've done it here on the stream, is just really get into weaving and doing it, for several minutes instead of just a few, rotations, but doing it for a while. I'm gonna turn the music up and let us practice with it and get into a flow with it. And then as I get a flow with it, so this is called the cradle. This is the hand is called the cradle. I think that's pretty much true in all of the flow arts, but it's called the cradle, and you can add movement to the cradle. You can add like where the actual hand is. So this is me if I'm weaving. I'm gonna keep my hand way out, and this is me weaving really far away from the body. And then this is me weaving really close to the body. I'm bringing my hand in a lot. And then this is if I'm like pushing out, kind of like a warrior move. So two-hand weave. Holding two hands on it. Close to the body, pushed out. And then I can take this weave and weave it under a leg, like if you are looking for a workout-y type class. I can weave that up and under. I'm gonna pass it once it gets up under. I'll take it with the other hand and weave it forward. I can do it continuously. Now, if you imagine my meridian, my central line on the side of me, everything here is day and everything behind me is night. So this is my day side, this is my night side, okay? So if the hoop is falling, if it's coming into my day side and it's falling to earth like that, that's called a falling current. So if it's breaking my meridian as it falls, comes in there, it's falling into day, and this is a falling weave, and this is what most people learn first. And then just for flair's sake, or to mix it up, you can add like a roll on your weave. Like, so I'm doing a falling weave, and I can roll it here, weave it, roll, weave it. So then what I'm about to show you is an uprising, or I'm sorry, a rising current. So it's a little bit trickier. I'm gonna hold the hoop here, and then I'm gonna let my wrist break, and it's gonna wanna fall. Like I'm holding it up to keep it upright. If I let my wrist, go, it's gonna fall backwards, right? So then as it's falling backwards, I'm gonna lead with my pinky, and I'm gonna bring the hoop across this way. This is called a rising current because it's coming into my day side. It's coming up into day. And, you know, as you're sort of steering the hoop from one side to the body to the other, it's kind of like your pinky, you know, or your ring finger are leading the hoop that way. And just like the other weave, you can do this really close to the body, or you can push it far out. And then it's a little bit trickier, but if you wanted to do weaving it under the legs, you can in rising, but it's a little bit, I don't know, it just feels a little bit different, but it's this thing. And to do that requires a thumb transfer, and they're kind of hard to teach. They usually just happen and you just discover them, but as I come, let's see, as I come up and under, oh, well, wait, I'm doing it, yeah. All right, well, I just sort of told you wrong there. I'm switching hands, never mind. Now this would be the two-handed rising weave. Okay. All right, I hope this is making sense to everybody. I think it is. This is pretty basic stuff. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. Now we're going to talk a little bit about just the basic cradle, and we're going to do it in sort of a with the hoop rolling in front of us kind of way. Our arms are going to get a workout tonight. Yeah, the verse under the legs is tricky. So I kind of told you wrong. Sometimes, you know, when you've been doing a move a long time, it's actually, you just sort of forget how to break it down. But I'm bringing the hoop behind me. I'm bringing the hoop behind me. I'm letting the wrist break there. And then as it breaks, I'm bringing it up to the other leg, and then this hand grabs it and then does the same thing again. It just breaks again. So it's boom, boom, boom. And this is a workout, you know, especially if you're over 50. Shout out. Okay. So fire questions away. That's how these classes are great. Again, I know it's kind of, we're not looking at too many people because we had such a goofy start, but fire any questions that you have away. We can definitely veer off my track and talk about them. But, all right, so this is called rolling right now. And right now, I am rolling across kind of my wrist or my forearm here. And sometimes I refer to the arm here, and it's more just slang, but like as a perch. And so like right now I'm rolling the hoop, and one of the things that sometimes is tough to remember or to get is that your whole body, sweet, your whole body's action plays into your off-body hooping, and that's really where you get a lot of pace. And sometimes when you're learning it to start, you're just sort of arming it to death because you just, it's on your arm, and that makes total sense. But where you really get good feel for it in a roll is when you start to use your whole body. So I'm just sort of bouncing my weight back and forth or allowing whatever to happen, and I'm getting pretty good, roll. And then the more roll and the more force I get, the more, up and down the plane stays and kind of neater. And then I can just stick an arm in, switch. And so my arm is just sort of perched here, but I'm getting a lot of my bounce, so I'm not really having to move my arm very much at all. But I'm still getting good bounce and pace on it because I'm moving my whole core. And then I can switch arms to change that. And then going back to the cradle, it may not be comfortable for everybody. That's why I usually recommend using the wrist. But I'm just rolling the hoop across the back of my hand right now. And then when the hoop is here, I can start to move the perch. I can start to move the cradle around. This is called anti-spin, and I'm moving it. If the hoop is spinning this way, if I were rolling my hand that way while it's spinning that way, that's anti-spin. So if I'm rolling it here and I were just, oh, hey, the whole set's breaking down, If I were to send it this way, that's anti-spin. It's like I'm drawing a box. There's lots of different shapes you can draw, but I'm drawing a box that's going, like if I were to draw a box on a piece of paper and not pick up my pen from the sheet of paper, that would be what I'm doing. So the hoop is spinning that way, but I'm drawing my box this way. Okay. And you can do this on the wrist as well, but most people do it on the hands. And then going to the cradle idea, Beth Lavender, who's a longtime HoopPather, I don't know if she still hoops anymore, I think she does, but she brought into our language the idea of mountain hand. I was calling it cage hand. Mountain's much better. But the idea is that you bring in all 4 fingers into the hoop here. So you see how like my thumb is involved now? That's called, all right, there we go. Turn that down a little bit. That's called mountain hand. And the main thing is that it brings the thumb in. And this is sort of if I make like a bird shape there or whatever. But the bigger point is that it just sort of brings attention to how you're holding the hoop, how it's rolling across the hand. And a lot of times you can get some cool spins and tosses and things from using the thumb. Or I could just have 4 fingers in, or 2, or even 1, and then it's an arm workout, but you can try like isolating the hoop without grip. It's more of an exercise than like pulling it off perfectly. It's really hard to do without total grip. I'll reverse it. This is me going anti-spin in the other way. Oh, there we go. And so we take that idea and then we combine it with the weave, and that's where you start to get like more warrior type stuff and some flexibility. Like this is me rolling on one hand, rolling on the other, then weave. under. And then this opens up, all these things sort of work together, called micro tosses. So micro toss is when you're not trying to send it all the way up to the sun, but you're just trying to toss it just a little bit, basically as a way of transitioning to another hand or something. So if we do micro tosses from our perch like this, it's a good way to get it. And I have a super low ceiling right now, despite the sun in the background in my room. The ceiling's actually pretty small, but I can still do these micro tosses. So you see how my hand is perched out here? To pull off the toss, I'm just going to pull my hand in. I'm going to leave kind of the elbow there and pull my hand out, or but just bringing my forearm back, and that's going to bring a little bit of a toss on it, and then I'm going to stick the other hand in and go get it. So it looks like this. These are micro tosses. And if they're banging around or they're hitting your arm a lot, the best way to avoid that is that when the hoop's up in the air and you go to push the other arm in, that you push it into the southern arc of the hoop. This would be the northern arc. This is the southern arc. And you push it in there, and you'll find a feel for it. But if you really like push into it, you'll sort of add momentum to it. And then if I keep that core connection so that, like, I'm shifting my weight and doing the bounces, then the tosses are really nice and clean. And the quicker I get my hand out, by getting my hand out quickly, I put like a little bit of spin on it. You'll sort of feel it more than you'll see it. And again, these are all foundations, but they, have loads of room to grow in there. Like lots of little different things you can add. Like, for instance, I could add a swing break to this. I break the momentum of the current, and now I'm in the other direction and I'm doing tosses. And foundations get rusty. No matter how much you hoop, they get rusty if you don't work on them. I'm noticing right now that, it's coming back in, but my second current roll doesn't feel quite as sharp as my first current. Then I can go to that mountain grip and put some isolation on it or whatever. And then I like to do the micro tosses from the mountain grip or whatever, or non-grip. And you'll feel like your thumb kind of puts an extra spin on it. So well, I'm not noticing it. Oh, there we go. There we go. Uh-oh. Weave. And then this would be me adding a little bit of the toss, like tosses to a weave. Like as I bring it up here, so this would be the regular weave. If I wanted to add a toss, I would just kind of let go. And that's where we get, the kind of the old school HoopPath move here. Actually, maybe we'll just talk about that. All right, so this is sort of the old school move. So you take, this is a weave. And so when I bring it, so right now my hand is on the opposite side of the body. This is the away side for this hand. This is away, and this is home. So away, home, away. Home is on the same side. Away is over here. And so what happens on this move that we do in HoopPath is that we sort of toss it from the away hand to the away hand. And it's kind of a combination between like a weave and rolling, and then a little bit of a toss. I mean, this is if I don't toss it really at all and just passing it. Well, that's a weave. Never mind. So, okay, here we go. Away. There we go. I can reverse this. Same thing, just going in a rising current. Reverse. Boom. I really like this mix. I'm sorry y'all can't see the music info. I don't know why. Okay, there you go. All right, I can't see it. Yeah, I like this song. These are micro tosses, and you can tell, but micro tosses are happening because the hoop is rolling and there's spin there. And if you think of the hoop as like a rolling wheel, with some of these tosses and things, you can get up under the hoop and let it roll across you. And this is kind of how body rolls happen and things like that. But I'm doing a toss right now, and we've done this one. This is super basic, but if I turn my arm, so the hoop is rolling this way, I'm going to bring the arm that it's rolling to up and under, and I can push up with it if I want to, and that kind of creates a nice little body roll. So I'm here, the hoop is on my left hand. We can do it both ways, it doesn't matter, but the hoop's in my left hand. I'm going to push my right up under it, and basically all I'm doing is just getting my body underneath the hoop's rotation, so the hoop is just like a wheel, it's just rolling across me. And for you lefties out there, now the hoop is rolling this way. It's rolling away from my open window here. And I'm just going to roll. Uh-oh, that one didn't work out too well. doing roll after roll. Yeah, your hoodie probably was making it harder, that's true. Uh-oh. Okay. So are we killing your arms? Do we need to take a break? Okay. All right. Yeah, so we're going to go a little bit past 8 o'clock. I don't know who's here, if anybody's here, but we're going to, we'll go to about 8:15, make up some of the time lost, and don't worry, this was kind of a one-off thing. I don't think that this hasn't happened in forever. It's probably because I jinxed us by bragging about it. Yeah, I'm not cold anymore either. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is so basic that it may seem too basic or boring, but right now we're going to talk about gripping the hoop. And in HoopPath, we didn't grip the hoop for a long time, and then we started. And maybe not, I don't even know if I would say it was HoopPath. I think it was just me. I think it was just before I started, even way before I even started teaching. But gripping the hoop and finding a way to really hold it. And one of the things that we used to teach is pushing all 4 knuckles into the hoop, especially like your first and your fourth knuckle. And by knuckle, I mean on the underside, the palm of the hand. And one of the things that we used to practice was getting good roll out of the hoop. So, so I'm here, and we would practice rolling it and catching it. Boom. This is falling. This is rising. But that develops a lot of arm strength, a lot of grip strength. And so I'm just, right now, all I'm doing is just practicing getting it into a quick roll up from my hand, and then stopping it and trying to get it nice and clean. These are isolation-y type things. And then this is something that we would do more like a drill sometimes, but I taught a long time. We came up with lots of exercises. Some people really liked it. Some people didn't really like it. But the idea was to develop hand strength and grip and hand-eye coordination. And so what we would do is do these, they're called hops, and we would do basically these switches. And we would sort of, you could add little things to it. Like I don't really like gun metaphors a whole lot, but like my hand on the holster kind of thing, or hand on my waist. Boom. And then, we would try, I'm doing okay at it right now, but to try and like switch hands, boom, with the hoop staying there, and then but create as much, you know, distance traveled with your hand as possible, or not as possible, but you know what I mean. So I guess what I'm saying is, instead of doing this, which is fine, we would kind of bring the hand up from the waist. Boom. And so, and we're not going to get bogged down in this, but there were sort of 4 positions on the hoop, and it comes back to the home side and the away side. So like, my right hand is on my right side right now, so that is the home side for my hand. So there you go. It's the home side for my hand. The far side would be if I came all the way across. So now my right hand is on my left side here. Okay. So this is, whoa, this is near, far, near, far, near, left, far. And so one kind of a, you know, hand speed, strength drill, that sort of thing. And what's happening to keep it, make it look there is kind of a little micro toss, a little throw up of the hoop. You know, you can't really see it a whole lot. I don't want to exaggerate it, but this is what it would be like if I exaggerated it. And so to go from far to far is kind of fun. So I'm holding the hoop on my left side. You can start either way, but I'm holding it here. I'm gonna toss it over there. Boom, 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 boom. And one thing that really helps your hand speed with that is to send the shoulder first. So like or to think about it anyway, to push that shoulder there instead of just my hand coming across. My whole shoulder is leading with it. Boom, 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 boom. And so if I wanted to flow with this or to drill with this, you know, I could just practice different. Oh, this is low, and this is high. Far, near, low, low, high. That's a little. Yeah, lots of hoop flinging. Watch your lampshades. But if I'm in the near, like so that the hand that's the hoops like here, I can hop. So this is thumb down, thumb up, thumb down, thumb up. This is probably smaller hoop type stuff, but whatever. And so the last exercise, well, maybe the last one we'll do, is this hop here. So this is going from what would be near, right? Like if you put it back here, it would be near to far. Boom. I could do a rising roll out of it to just keep that going. So I'm here, rising roll here, rising roll here. So I'm here. This is me pulling it back to the same hand. And then this is, again, super basic, but not always easy to grasp if you've never done it before. But now I'm going to pull it back with this hand, but I'm going to pull it across the body and catch it with this hand. So boom. I can roll it out, catch, boom, roll it out, catch. All right, so boom. Yeah, the balance of control for sure. Oh, that's a fun one. I forgot about that one. All these are super simple, but that doesn't mean that they're not fun. So like pulling the hoop back, but now I'm gonna catch it at low, so it's like that. Let's see. Well, actually, I'm trying to think of what would. That's the low grab there. So I'm pulling it back low. See, I pull it back high. Pull it back on. That's a little bit harder than I remember. Boom. Push. Boom. Low. Wow. Anyway, the idea with all these is that what makes them foundations is that you use them as blocks, and then you can just sort of wing them together. You can try different like places on the hoop to grab them, and they will kind of work into your flow. They're also great for not hitting somebody at a festival or for catching your hoop on the fly. You just sort of teach your hand how to grab it, how to go get it with authority, and then you know it looks like it stayed in your flow the whole time. Hint, hint. All right, I'm gonna bring the music up, let y'all practice. All right, we'll just free hoop some to this track and let you guys ask questions, and then we'll probably call it a night. Again, sorry for the later start today. Y'all know I did my best. But yeah, we're going to continue this Foundations on. I think we may talk about shoulder hooping or do a kind of a hybrid of off-body and on-body. How to break... Oh, wait, here we go. Carla, share with us if you want what your breakthrough was. That would be awesome. My arms are feeling jacked right now. Nice. Congratulations. Okay. Alright, so this mix has been going on for 52 minutes. So I think that means we've been hooping for 52 minutes, so that's pretty good. I think if anybody's still here, I'll add... if anybody's still here, I'll add one just sort of kind of advanced move-y thing, but not too bad. Not really. It's just you don't really see this in beginner classes that much. But... remember we were talking about like breaking the wrist? What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the hoop out here and I'm going to break the hoop, but I'm going to let the hoop slide to the outside of my arm like that. So I'm here. I'm going to let it, instead of letting it swing in like, you know, maybe I'm doing a weave or something, I'm going to hold it out here and then let it swing to the back. And then as it's going to want to break my wrist, but it won't. But I'm going to send it out like that. As I send it out, I'm going to release it here and let it roll across the back of my hand. And it looks like that. Okay? Boom. But you can start to do like a lot of cool things. Like this is me doing sort of an isolation based on that move. So I'm here. That's a toss. That's if I don't let it roll at all. But then if I sort of like push up into it, I can get just a nice cool, if you haven't done it before, it's a fun feeling. It's like an outside wall point isolation. So it comes down and then I boom. I like these isolations a lot. I think they're fun. Do you see what I'm doing? So when it's on the southern arc, it's riding on the back of my hand. The top up here, and then it rolls onto the back of my hand there. Okay, y'all, I hope that... Okay, sweet. Okay, do y'all... Let's see. Alright, so we will have class we'll have class next week. That's going to keep going. I think Ann will be here for that. She knows that we're kind of switching gears on this class, and so... So our Wake and Flows, which should happen every Saturday, Ann's really jazzed about those will be Ann's. We'll be cutting up, but we're going to be trying to mostly play music and not talk as much. And on these classes, we're going to keep with this theme of like, I just want to have a resource, and I want to like better library the resource. But for people that might want to be getting into hooping, that they could, like, you know, if they randomly stumble onto the stream, that there would be these beginner sections that they could learn, and then they could basically learn our language and kind of keep up with us on the other stuff. And then we'll have just all kinds of other classes. And as part of this foundation stuff, I want to include the myth and the story that I use to sort of add to the creative feel. So, you know, we're going to play this out for a while. It's a good reset. Maybe some of you learned something tonight, or, you know, you like me, you polished off a second current and something, and, you know, that can be really fun. It kind of keeps your hoop going. So if you have any requests for foundations or whatever, we're going to get to them. We're going to get to shoulder hooping, ankle hooping, all that stuff. But this will give me a way to like frame the class, give you an expectation of what's coming, and I think it's going to be a good thing. It's also a little bit easier to teach these by myself because I know this stuff really well, and, you know, and then Ann and I don't have to sync up on exactly what we're doing. So anyway, you're welcome, and I'm going to fade to green, and thank you guys very much. Yeah, I get it. It's going to be tough, but sorry you have to miss them, but I think it's for good reasons if I remember right. Anyway, love you guys. I will see you Saturday. I think Ann will be here too, so